Well, NewsHour Insight has a couple of exclusives for you tonight in the ongoing saga of the Millennium Development. And Deb Hope joins us now with more on these stories. Deb.
Yes, Chris, and we're talking about the former Vancouver Athletes Village for the 2010 Games, of course. The condo development that was supposed to be a hot waterfront community. But thanks to slow sales, it turned into a giant nightmare for the city's taxpayers. And for the first time tonight, Vancouver's condo king is talking to us about how he's going to turn things around when he puts the Millennium back on the market. Ron Benzie reports.
Bob Rennie says he's ready and up for the challenge, but he concedes trying to sell the remaining units in the former Olympic Village has been one of the most frustrating experiences in his 35 years in real estate.
To have 450 condos for sale on the water is not really the biggest challenge to have. It's just that there's been a lot of legal issues and a lot of negotiations that have really prevented the marketing side from going full force.
Rennie admits the project has people talking, but for all the wrong reasons. He hopes to change that. While he remains a strong believer in the billion-dollar development, he admits it was an overly ambitious project trying to be all things to all people.
The Olympic Village had the burden of representing Canada, and it had the burden of representing building technology and architecture on top of a very short window to build in, on top of very, very highly competitive construction costs. So it had every pressure at once, which is unprecedented.
And while Rennie says you can talk about fabulous views and deluxe amenities, the only thing that resonates with potential buyers is the final price tag. That's why he's promising what he's calling real price reductions when the sales office officially reopens its doors on February 12th.
I think incentives, whether you look at maintenance fees or whether we look at property taxes or portions of the HST to bring it down to GST, it all comes out and it's added up into what is my final price. And I just use the word that we have to be competitive.
Only about 150 of the 474 unsold market units will be initially available for sale. Rennie says that his task now is to try to entice people to take a second look, despite the development's troubled past.
And I think if we can remove the financing cloud and remove the ghost town cloud, that 9 months from now, it's not heavy lifting. It's just normal standardized marketing and you won't want to talk to me. I mean, that's my goal.
Well, Bob Rennie might not be saying exactly what kind of discounts they're considering, but one Vancouver City Councillor is talking numbers, and that is the other exclusive we have for you tonight. Councillor Jeff Meigs is giving us a ballpark figure on how much prices will be cut. The question is, will the lower sale prices be enough to pay off the loan, or will Vancouver's taxpayers be left holding the bag?
Christina Bowes volunteered at the Athletes Village during the Games, and now she's moving into Millennium Waters.
I'm renting first to see if things pick up and the services start, you know, the stores and everything. I want to make sure they're open, and then I might look into buying. It's a beautiful, beautiful little area, though. It's like a little village.
A liquor store opened last week and several city councillors showed up, happy some of the retail space is finally occupied. But with the development in receivership, the condos are currently off the market, while all sides agree on price cuts.
$740 million outstanding in loans. Is there any way you're going to make that money back?
No.
How close we get to completely closing the gap is a question that we're still working on. And so a 20% reduction in price doesn't mean a 20% loss on the construction loan. It's a bigger, more complicated picture, and hopefully there's some silver linings in there.
And this plan, are you saying it's about 20% reduction in prices?
Well, that number keeps getting kicked around. People say, what if you cut 20%? And, you know, frankly, I wouldn't be shocked if there were 20% reductions in there.
Currently, there are 474 unsold properties and a debt of $740 million. The remaining units were originally priced at $886 million, or an average of $1.86 million per unit. But a 20% price drop means a loss of $31 million. The city says the Maliks are on the hook for the shortfall. But the Malik brothers originally posted several properties as security for the loan. According to Meigs, though, they continue to mortgage the properties to come up with the loan payments, eating away at the equity and the amount the city can recover.
I mean, if they're providing security for a massive loan and they've got liens on their properties, that's not very good security.
No, and the loan was with the hedge fund, with Fortress, guaranteed by the city, and the city had to step in and do the best it could with the cards it was dealt. And those cards were not as solid, in my view, as you might have thought looking at them, because there were multiple calls to some of those properties.
Meantime, the city is hoping more moving trucks will be arriving in the near future because the debt is growing by the day. The city is paying $1.2 million a month to carry the loan.
Well, Chris, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens there.
Yeah, still a bit of a ghost town down there, obviously, but people are moving in, and some of those businesses have started up down there, so it's starting to look more like a community. We'll see how it goes. All right, thanks very much, Deb.